Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Farah, and today is the start of a new vlog. It's the beginning of October, and we got some spooky season reading going on, but if we're being honest, I'm still finishing some things up from September, but that's okay. So for audio, I am listening to a book called In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. It's a science fiction book with robots, and it's kind of like a retelling of Pinocchio, a loose retelling, which has been going pretty well. I talked about this a little bit in my previous vlog. And then the ebook that I'm reading is another science fiction. This is more of a dystopian, apocalyptic science fiction, and this is called I Who Have Never Known Men. Yeah, that's the name of it. And this was originally a French novel, short story. Well, it's not a short story, but it's a very short book. I guess you could maybe consider it a novella. But this follows our narrator, who's a young woman, very young, under the age of 18, who is living in a cage with 39 other women underground, and they're being completely guarded by men. They don't remember how they got there. She doesn't remember life before the cage. She was placed in there probably around the age of 5, and all the other women with her are older, at least in their 20s. So it's very mysterious. We don't know what's happening. They're never given any explanation. They're given like just minute things for survival, such as food and some fabric to make clothes, but they're not allowed to touch each other. And they're being guarded by men who don't talk to them, who don't look at them. And it's really weird. It's a very weird premise, but I think it's a story about humanity and what happens to them. I heard some really good reviews about this. I remember Kaitlyn from Bandy's Books talking about this one. And there was somebody else recently that talked about it. MJ did a buddy read in her Patreon. I just didn't get around to reading it when everyone else did. But I think it's going to be pretty good. I feel like it has a really interesting premise. So that's my ebook. And then I'm still working on Nightmares and Dreamscapes with Stephen King. That one I'm just working on a little bit as I go. I'm also reading the Bible. I'm into the Corinthians. So it's very focused on Paul, the New Testament, everything that happened after Jesus' death. So I've been squatting to be in the frame. My legs are killing me. Okay. So In the Lives of Puppets is an interesting story. I wish I had the cover to read it to you because I'm really bad sometimes at coming up with the summaries of books to explain to you guys. But it follows a young man named Vic. He's a human and he's probably about 21 years old. And he lives with his dad, whose name is Geo. Geo is an android, and they're living in a world that is filled with robots, machines, and these humanoid android type of people. So Vic, as a baby, was left on Geo's doorstep by these humans that were running away. They were running into the woods, and they were very scared. So they said, please raise our baby, blah, blah, blah. And so Geo has raised him from an infant. There's a big scrapyard near their house. So Vic goes and he collects different parts and pieces to try to create different things. And he fixed this little vacuum cleaner named Rambo, who has consciousness in a sense. He also fixed a nurse robot that is meant to diagnose and treat illnesses for humans. It's kind of meant as like a nurse companion for human beings. So those are his two primary friends. They're very isolated in the woods. They have no contact with anyone else. So right away, we don't know what the world is. We don't know if there's people still there. We don't know what is happening. We don't know if humans have been wiped out. You know, it's very interesting. So there's a lot of Pinocchio-esque things, Geo, Geppetto, humanness versus roboticness, and where does the humanity start? Like, can humanity be replicated in a machine that doesn't have consciousness or a heart? And how technologically advanced are these robots where they are seeming and feeling like human beings? In the story, something happens to Vic's father and he gets taken away. One day in their scrapyard adventures, they come across another android, a human-like android, that they rescue and they fix and they put him back together. And he is basically, his memory's wiped. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know who he is. So they kind of teach him and teach him about life as they know it, and how they appreciate all these little things in nature. And so they have this new friend and they call him Hap. So far it's going really well. I'm at least 55 I'm at least 50% through with this. The audio narrator is fantastic. He does a great job bringing these characters to life. And I think when you're reading a book about robots, it's really nice to have that audio because his performance of these speaking roles is really great, and it's bringing these characters to life a lot for me. So I'm getting a lot of Wizard of Oz theming and vibes within this as well, because after Geo's captured, they have to go on a quest to try to rescue him and bring him back. So that kind of goes with Pinocchio, but also this yellow brick road type of journey through the unknown. They're traveling to the city of electric lights. They have to find the blue fairy. There's even a giant airship in the shape of a whale, which has to do with Pinocchio. I'm having fun just seeing those little Easter eggs and clues within it, and I think that the characters are very endearing. They're very lovable. Nurse Ratched is hysterical. She's kind of a sociopath, so she has these one-liners that, I mean, she's supposed to be a nurse, but she's like, you know, she has to engage in empathy protocol. So it's just, I really like TJ Klune's writing. It's very engaging, very descriptive. I can definitely see myself in that world. So that's the audiobook I'm working on. And then I think the physical book that I would like to start is, I wanted to start Frankenstein right away, but my hold for Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked Comes This Way just came in. So I'll be starting that as well. So that is just a quick overview of some of the books I'll be talking about. So I will check in with you guys soon once I've read a little bit more of these books going forward. Okay, I have a little bit of a spider warning, so anybody that doesn't like spiders, look away. But I was just walking on our porch and I noticed this huge spider. This web, you probably can't even see it, is so big. And I'm not sure what kind of spider this is. I'll look it up and I'll put the link in there, but this is the biggest spider I've seen in a while here. Let's see if I can focus it. There we go. Huge. Yikes. It's just chilling. There's a fly next to it. It will probably eat that later. I don't really mind the spiders that are in their webs, just hanging out. You know, you can see them, you know where they are. They generally chill in their webs. It's those wolf spiders that walk around. I just got one out of my room the other night. It was just crawling on the wall and I happened to notice it was right next to me. And I caught it in a cup and I put it outside. But yeah, that's a big lady right there. If it's a lady. Maybe it's a dude. I'm not sure. Anyway, just wanted to share. Nature's all around us. Hey guys, I just wanted to do a really quick update. I was going to try to film myself doing like a bigger update, but it's so dark that you can't even see me, so I'll just do that when I get home. But excuse me, I'm sitting in the car waiting for my 12-year-old to get back from her away game, which she had volleyball tonight. It was too far away. The game was over an hour away and we just couldn't get there with work and everything, but luckily the school drives them to and from the game. We just have to pick them up. But it's almost 9 o'clock and I've been waiting for a little while. She should be here in a minute. But I just wanted to mention a few of these graphic novels that I've been reading this month, just because I really want to reach my goal of 36 books for the Read What You Own challenge. And I really kind of fell off the bandwagon a little bit this summer when I did my big books of summer. So I'm squeezing in like a whole bunch of graphic novels and stuff that my daughters had so that I could, read a little faster and get a few more books. But I've been really enjoying this series. I think it's just called Sunny. And these are middle grade graphic novels. This is the third book. I read the first two. They usually just take me a day or maybe like an evening and then the morning. And they're so good. The first two books focus on the main character, Sunny. She's like a 12-year-old girl. And she's dealing with an older brother that's going through a drug and alcohol addiction. And it's just kind of talks about her feelings and what she's experiencing and how hard it is to keep this secret. And it's really good. It's told really lightly. It's nothing that's morbid or really hard to read or anything, but it just serves as like a way for kids to kind of relate if they're going through that. But I'm really enjoying it. And this one, it's really good. One thing I love is it takes place in the 70s. And so there's just all these like cool references to the 70s and growing up. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, but it's still a lot of stuff is really similar. And in this episode, she actually learns how to play Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm just really enjoying this series. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read it or heard of it. I'm not sure how many of you guys read middle grade graphic novels. The only reason I got into them is just because my kids were reading them. So just wanted to throw this little clip in here to show you real time what I've been reading. Hey guys, it is like maybe 10 o'clock at night, and I know you probably can't see anything. Maybe you can see that plane right there. But I'm outside again. It is October, 7th? Yeah. And I can see the northern lights again. I can't believe it. I went from never seeing them. I think this is my sixth time since May that I've seen them. And they're really beautiful tonight. It's almost like a rainbow effect. I'll put a picture here, but this is like so much fun. I love it. I love it so much. Just being outside at night. It's so quiet. The stars are so beautiful. And just to see the northern lights, you can't really see them that well with your eyes, but when you take a picture, it's like these colors just come out of nowhere. So just wanted to share. Hey guys, just checking in. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a mid-vlog update, let you know how the reading's been going, let you gaze upon the beautiful fall foliage in the background. So pretty. So let's see. I read and finished, and I know I didn't really vlog much about this, but it was kind of short, but I read and finished a short book called I Who Have Never Known Men. I don't know how I felt about this one. All I can say is that it really made me think about a lot of different things, which makes me enjoy a book when I'm thinking about it. And I don't know, I'm sure those of you that have read it know exactly what I mean, but I wouldn't say like I really truly loved or enjoyed this book, but I thought it was really well done. And I think that it raised some really interesting ideas about what is humanity? Like, what is it? What makes us human? How much of it is intrinsic or already inside us? And how much is a product of our environment and our lived experiences? And how when you strip all of that away and you have nothing left and you're in complete isolation in a desolate, monotonous landscape with nothing to do and really no idea of hope, how much hope plays a part in your survival? How much the idea of discovery and curiosity would play a part in your will to live. So this was just a really thought-provoking book. This is one of those books where as soon as I was done reading it, I wished that I could go back, reread it again, but I wish that I could understand French so that I could read it in its original language so I could truly get every single intended word and meaning that the author wrote. That's how much it made me think and how well I thought it was done. And, you know, I'm not sure what I should rate it. I originally was going to rate it like a 4.5 just because I thought it was a really unique book, and I think that the author packed in so much into such a short book. Or is it a novella? I don't even know. It might be. It worked for Shorty September though, so that was great, even though it's October now. But it just, yeah, it really made me think about that, and the author's point of view writing it. Obviously, it's difficult to write this kind of book when you have grown up in a world that we have where there's people around us and we're not locked in a cage our whole lives. So it's interesting to think about her thought process on how she came up with this character and how she came up with the inner thoughts of somebody that had that lived experience. So it was a really great book. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it if you like science fiction. It was a good display of female friendship and how they, whatever setting you're in, how they try to retain their humanity, like by following rituals and creating tasks and forming even like couples within those relationships, even if they were previously heterosexual, finding that intimacy and love with who you have around you. It's your only options, So it was a very interesting book, and I was glad to see that it wasn't filled with unnecessary violence or torture or anything, because the premise sounds really grim. When you read the back and you learn that there are 40 women locked in a cage underground, guarded by males, that can be kind of a creepy, scary look. But I will let you know that there's nothing to be afraid of within that plot. I will say, though, there are a few trigger warnings, such as suicide and compassionate euthanasia. So just to be aware of those if you're interested in reading it. So, yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. That was my ebook that I just finished. I'm still working on In the Lives of Puppets, and it's going well. It's just, I think my problem with it is that I'm not getting to it soon enough. So there's big gaps of time in between when I'm reading it, so I have to keep getting back into it. I will say that it is very dialogue heavy, the second half of the book. I mean, I didn't notice it at first, but now as I'm in the end, I'm probably about maybe 2 hours left of listening to it. It's very dialogue heavy, but it's not dialogue heavy in a way that I feel that they're telling us so much instead of showing us, because they are showing us things that have to do with the plots of the backstories. It's just there's a lot of just dialogue between the characters, a lot of talk about feelings and what's going on, and overall I think that the relationships are really endearing and cute, so it's keeping my interest. But that was just something I noticed. And again, very strong Wizard of Oz vibes. I know it's a Pinocchio retelling, but it's very strong Wizard of Oz. So those are my 2 updates. I have started, this is a random one that I just threw in the mix, but I have started Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm so bad with titles. Something Wicked Comes This Way, or Something Wicked This Way Comes. Whatever. Ray Bradbury. It's my first Ray Bradbury book, and the writing style is really weird, but I'm going with the flow. I'll talk more about this in my next clip, but yeah, I think this is going to have some weird, spooky circus vibes. So looking forward to that. This is my next ebook. So there's the update for now, and I will check in soon. Hey everyone, just wanted to show you the aurora tonight. It is, oh my gosh, what day is it? It's October 10th, Thursday night. And there was a big solar storm that reached all across the US, definitely Canada, but you can see it pretty well tonight. Sometimes when I've tried to film it in the past, it didn't quite work, but there was like a big red arc that was going across the sky from east to west. That was really cool. It's not picking up on the camera, but let me move back. But isn't that so pretty? I can actually see it tonight with my eyes. It's really cool. I know I've been posting it a lot on my community page. I even posted it in a Discord tonight, but I just want people to know that they can maybe see it. It's so rare. I mean, it's not rare anymore with the way that the sun has been, but I mean, I had never seen the Northern Lights before. So really cool. I just wanted to show you guys. Good girl. Okay, so I'm just sitting here filming a video that I want to get out my September wrap up, and I thought I would just check in with the vlog and let you know that I did finish In the Lives of Puppets, and I really enjoyed this one. This I'm going to be saving for my October wrap up because I did finish it in October technically. And I think for me, what really made me love this story was the characters. The character of Vic was so sweet. He was so just innocent, you know, just a little gem, like a charming little gem. And I just found his character to be really likable, really likable. And the relationship between him and his dad, I mean, that father-son relationship, I am a sucker for that. Having lost my own father, you know, that it's so heart-wrenching. You know, sometimes, I know not everyone gets a good dad, but when you do get a good dad, it's just such a, there's such, I don't even know how to describe it, but the relationship between him and his dad was really sweet, and that was a big focus on it. There was a little bit of a romance, an LGBTQ romance in there. It was very small and innocent and sweet though, and I thought that the chemistry was really good. Like, I was like, whoo, feeling that through the page, you know. But Nurse Ratched, she was hysterical. She was one of my favorite characters for a while. Just this psychopathic nurse who has to turn on her empathy protocol. Her one-liners were really good. She wasn't in as much as the second half, which I missed that a little bit about her, but she was great. And then little Rambo, the little vacuum cleaner that loves Top Hat and loves romantic movies and old movies. He was just sweet. So I think TJ Klune really shines on his characters and making them extremely lovable. And the plot itself was very interesting, but for me it was more about the characters and the journey, and I loved the Wizard of Oz and the Pinocchio aspects of this book. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough that I bought a physical copy to keep in my collection, and since I listened to this on audio, I would like to reread it someday because I want to catch everything that I may have missed. So overall, it was a great couple weeks of reading. I'm so glad, that I have been able to read wonderful books. I'm not reading as much because I'm toning down the audio a bit, but yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you watching the video or the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful autumn weather out there. I miss summer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a warm weather type of gal, and I got a long winter ahead of me, which I love too. I tend to really love summer and really love winter. It's the in-between. Our leaves are mostly gone now, so it's not as pretty outside, but I'll still find things to enjoy, I'm sure. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Take good care and see you soon.